Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Marshy, and today we are going to be continuing my save file by building in Willow Creek, this small little residential area with all like the shotgun style houses. This is the empty lot. I believe it's a 20 by 30 bargain bin, so I decided instead of building just like a bigger house on here, I wanted to create some residential rental townhome situation thingies. And honestly, I got this idea from watching that Keke Palmer and SZA movie, one of them days, I don't remember what it's called, but it's something around them. And honestly, first off, hilarious movie, loved it so much. And I just kind of got inspiration from their apartment they were living in, but I was like, I don't want to do like apartment type situation. I want to do like some townhomes and make them feel a little bit fancy and fun and all that stuff. So two of the units, or whatever you want to call them, are furnished, fully furnished. Then there are two that are not furnished. They just have like the kitchen and the bathrooms in there. So if you want to download this lot and you want your Sims to, rent in one of the places, then you don't have to delete everything, or you don't have to, be made of money, made of simoleons to get it. So I thought that was good, because I did have two Sims in mind. Well, a family of Sims and then a Sim that I made. So I used one of the Maxis Sim families that came with like one of the latest updates or whatever for their storylines, I believe. So I decided that I would just use them and kind of change up their storyline a little bit. I love how they look, so I was like, I don't really feel like it's necessary to change what they look like. Do I remember what the family's names are and stuff like that? Absolutely not. But I did put them in there, and I decided that, I feel like they just kind of feel like they would live in a place like this. I don't know. So I think it's like the Martinez or something like that family, but and then the other Sim that lives here is a single Sim. She is a vampire, actually. I was really debating if I wanted to put supernatural occult Sims in all the worlds that don't necessarily didn't come with the occult, but I decided I feel like that would kind of spice things up a little bit, because I've also been watching the Vampire Diaries recently, and first of all, obsessed, but also kind of like irritated with some of the characters in there. But honestly, I feel like that's what makes the show. So if you've watched the Vampire Diaries like when it came out, because I didn't do that, it took me way too long. It took me till like 2 months ago to actually start watching it, and I'm finally on like season 7. But anyway, so I decided to put a vampire in here, and she's a single Sim. I think she's really cutesy. I made her a tattoo artist, so I am going to put a tattoo studio in the little shopping plaza of Willow Creek. So I think that will be really adorable and really cute. So there's that. And I did, for her apartment, add a little like in-home tattoo studio. Like if her friends come over, I imagine that she'd be like, okay, let me just tattoo you here. So there's that. And honestly, the landscaping for this took me a little bit longer than I feel like it should have, because I was really struggling. I was like, I want to put trees on this lot, and usually I like putting like a big ass tree, like a big honkin' tree on the lot to kind of like balance everything out, but I couldn't do that this time. Also, those flowers that I'm putting down from Cottage Living, I am going to size down near the end, because I realized that they are clipping into the buildings, and it wasn't a vibe. So we do end up shrinking those, which they end up looking fine. And I didn't want to clutter this too much, and I put some bikes out front eventually, and each of the houses has their own little mailbox. But I don't know, I've done it before on a lot that I've played before, and it hasn't messed up anything, so hopefully it doesn't. If for some reason it does mess it up, then I'll just take it out before I upload it, but I have not play tested it as of yet. I will be doing that after this voiceover. So by the time you download it, if you choose to, you will see if those are gone or not. But I did put a bunch of mailboxes, I think from the I don't know what pack, honestly. I think it was from the Love Struck pack, but I'm obviously, I don't know. Actually, no, it's from Business and Hobbies. I see. Okay. So yeah, I put them all there, and I'm just want to play test it. We'll see how that goes. I don't see that it should be a problem. I don't see it being a problem, but whatever. I do really like the pool area that I did. I was just thinking, like, if you lived in a little community with like 4 other families, like, what would you want? And I feel like they each kind of have their own little section, like their own little corner, but they have like, it's all shared and stuff like that. So I put like a little tea making, I think it's tea, or it's like one of those drink trays I put on that table over there by the seats, and I put a bunch of planters, water balloon thingy, and all that fun stuff. So I really, really tried to make it look like they each added their own little touch to it, if they felt so inclined. And then I decided to actually put some loungers out on this side. So there's 4 loungers and some like umbrellas. Those ones are the ones that I do, and I end up putting them in each corner like so, and I feel like it looks all really nice, and I really like it. So I hope you do too, because I was very much like, I need this to look good. And for once I actually did change out the pool tiles and the wallpaper, so I felt very proud of myself because of that. I was like, yes. I also do put one of those diving platforms in. I wish I could put like on one of the corners, but you know, it is what it is, and I feel like it just matches very nicely. I almost forgot to put in trash cans because I was like, okay, where's this gonna go? But then I put it on either side of the benches, and I put a bunch of bikes out, so I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if you could just take them or if they're just now decoration, but they're just there for some aesthetic purposes. And I really like the one that came with not Get to Work, oh my gosh, Businesses and Hobbies. I feel like it's really cute with like the little basket in the front. So I like how that turned out, and I believe we are about to head on into the inside. And I do want to say, if you guys have any suggestions, I feel like I will always say this, if you have any suggestions for any storylines or anything like that, any build recommendations, anything you want to see me build, like, let me know, and I would love to do it. And yeah, so I was very much like going through this build like really fast. I was like, I only had 2 hours of recorded footage, and it went really great. I think what helped was I didn't decorate all 4 because I really felt like I kind of wanted it to be realistic in a sense. Like, I wanted this to be a starter neighborhood, as well. So I didn't want it to just everything be furnished and have like a bunch of pre-made Sims in here, because I feel like, you know, I don't want to, if anybody wants to download this, like, kind of ruin their vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a house, I obviously have some Sims in mind, but apartment, I was like, let me just have 2 empty spaces that anybody can do anything with. I mean, obviously you can rip out all the other furniture and the other ones if you would want to do that, but I felt like they were pretty simple builds anyway. I honestly, for the family of 4, I was gonna stick 2 of the kids in one room together, and then I decided that wasn't gonna happen, and so one on the right hand side has 3 bedrooms instead of just 2. So, but I feel like it works out fine. I mean, I feel like if you look at like apartments, like layouts and stuff like that, they always have like 3, I feel like. So I feel like it turned out somewhat realistic in that sense. I used this wood flooring that I don't normally use, and I feel like it turned out really well, I think. I also used some wallpaper that I didn't use ever, and each one has a different color swatch, but I feel like it still works well with like the flooring. I think I did like the yellow, I keep the blue swatch in here. I do a green swatch, an orange swatch, and the white yellow one. So they all still have like that cream color that matches the floor, which I really like. I'm definitely someone that likes things to match. I'm not sure if you could tell by now, but unless I'm like purposely trying to be like, make it like a little bit funky looking, like in a good way. Funky looking in a good way. I'm especially in my real life, I don't like things mismatching. Unless like the tones are similar or something like that. Like if I am in a place and I see just like two totally different colored wood items next to each other, I'm like, girl, who did this? That's why in The Sims, like when the swatches keep coming out for different packs and stuff, I'm like, why can't you just have some simple wood swatches and just make them the same? Because they're so close to being the same swatch, but they're just a little bit off, and that's what bugs me. I feel like if you're gonna intentionally do something where they don't match, make it a much bigger difference, because then it looks intentional. You're like, okay, that's a choice, but I mean, it's not like you're trying to match it and failed, you know? So I have like, I'm definitely that type of person that I'm like, girl, no, but it's okay. We work with what we got, right? But if you like doing mismatched furniture and you're just like, whatever, like, how do you do that? Let me know. I would love to hear your expertise on it. As well as, this room, I was like, I wanted it to all be tile, but then this is the time that I decided that this was gonna actually be an orange bathroom. And I'm gonna change everything about it. So it was a little bit of like a struggle, honestly, for this kitchen, because I was like, and this layout of this, that's what I call apartment. Well, technically, not really technically, but I was like, where would the dining room go? I don't know. You ask me, and I tell you I don't know. But I don't know. I think it looks okay. This rug right here, I was like, I've never used this swatch before, and honestly, I really love it. This swatch, this orange color, even the curtains in the kitchen, I was like, it's I don't want to keep saying it's a vibe, but it is a vibe. And that lets me use a painting that I don't really use that much, and I was like, I felt like it's the perfect point to use it. So I was like, okay. I put it up in the hallway, so when we get to there, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I see it. And I did try to clutter this space a lot more, because I feel like if this person, you know, is living alone and she just gets home, she just throws all her stuff on this counter. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. They have like a catch-all counter, like for near when they get home and stuff like that. And then this is the little bookcase, because you need one of those. And there was like some weird corners in a couple places that I was like, I don't know what I'm putting there. I ended up putting a dartboard in that little corner where I'm trying to put the window, and I think it's absolutely perfect right there. I eventually would like to put like a pottery station in one of the builds I do, but I don't know when that'll be. Or maybe I'll put it in like, maybe I'll make like a hobby center for one of my builds. That might be cool. And I don't know, maybe I will try and do like restricted pack builds at some point. I feel like that'll be fun, because I do know that not a lot of people have a lot of the packs. Most people just have base game. But I feel like it'll be a fun challenge, and I feel like that'll be fun, because honestly, when I started building in The Sims, like for the first time, I was shit at it, like really bad. Like I built a triangle house, okay? Now, there ain't nothing wrong with that, but it was something. Let's just say that. It was very much something. And it had like a bunch of TVs in the bathroom, because why not? You know, creative freedom. took some liberties. But yeah, I also thought it might be cool to do like a Jaws themed house at some point, just for like fun, not for the save file or anything, because it is coming up on the 50th anniversary, and it is one of my favorite movies. I don't know if any of y'all like that movie as well, but it is definitely like one of my favorites, and if not my favorite. I find it funny. I don't know why. I think the movie itself, well, maybe I do find the movie itself funny. I don't know. But I really like sharks. So Jaws is just like a really great movie. And if you haven't seen it, I do recommend you see it at some point in your life. Also, back to the build for a second. That picture, those 2 pictures that I put down, one, the Jester one, I've literally never used that in my entire life. And second, the other one that I put down, don't know what it's from. But first time I've ever used it in that swatch, and I kind of really love it. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna have to use it more. And I really tried to clutter as much as I could. And I got to use that record player for the first time, and I was like really happy about it. Also, I don't know if I complained about this before in another build or not, but the windows on diagonals, none of the curtains fit. The curtains don't like change size like the windows do, which I feel like they really should, because otherwise you have to just like fiddle around with it, and it's a real pain in the butt. And I feel like that should be a thing that the Sims team should maybe fix. I think that would be a nice thing, right? And for as much as I do complain about this game and all the things I wish it had, I really do love this game. Especially building, obviously. If you're new here, I don't do gameplay in it. That's why I'm making this save file, so that way I can, actually try and start to enjoy it a little bit, because when I did first play it, I was like, there's not enough story in a bunch of the other people's households and all that stuff, and it like really was bugging me. And I love like drama filled stuff, like The Sims 3. Like when you were playing in your household, other things were happening. Like if your sim read the newspaper, it'd be like, oh, the gossip, like here's what happened, and like Sims would get pregnant and like all this stuff, and like, oh my gosh, they got divorced, they moved, all this stuff. And I'm like, that was it. Like I feel like the perfect game would be like Sims 2, Sims 3 gameplay, and like, but like the Sims 4 building into like one game. Like that would be nice, I feel like. And didn't the Sims say that they weren't going to create a Sims 5 or something like that? They were just gonna work on the games that they already have, which, if that's true, like that would be amazing. Like fix the Sims 3, please. So that it stops crashing. Like I built a computer just to run like the Sims 3. So why does it still crash? Can you let me know? And I feel like that's also a reason why we don't have like create a style for a lot of things. I feel like, because I've noticed when I build in The Sims 3, whenever I do create a style, there's been so many times where the game just shuts off from using it. So I don't know if that's just me problem. If you've had that problem and you like really love The Sims 3 too, let me know. If you know how to fix it, let me know. But I've been having a really good time like finding these YouTubers that still play The Sims 3, and like I love it so much. You have no idea. There is this one guy who's creating, like redoing this Sunset Valley in The Sims 3, and honestly, I love it. I love it so much. And also like when I like hear people doing like voiceovers and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, I recorded half this voiceover this day, and then I recorded the other half this day. And I'm over here like, girl, how you doing that? How are you doing that? Because even when I'm just like just talking to myself for like more than like 20 minutes, I start going, what did I say? And what did I not say? So that, I mean, if I repeat stuff, that's why. I'm just like, I'm all over the place. And I feel like that's what makes me special. If we're gonna go, that's what makes me special. And I feel like I don't understand how they do that. They're like, Oh yeah, I'm recording the second half of this voiceover like 3 days from. I'm like, did you just sit down and rewatch the voiceover to listen to see what you said, or like what did you do, or did you start talking again and hope and pray that you don't say the same thing over again? I don't know. Or maybe they were smart and actually wrote themselves a script. I stopped doing that after the after the first video, because I'm like, it just, I don't know. It just felt like I was very like robotic and stuff like that, and I personally don't like watching videos like that, so I really like watching chaotic people, just a little bit, and I hope you do too. If you do, I mean, no pressure, but there's a subscribe button and also a notification and maybe a thumbs up button, and if you're, you know, feeling a little extra, there's a comment section down below, and, you know, if you made it this far, maybe send a little heart emoji down below. Shooting my shot. There you go. But yeah, this apartment is for the family that was Maxis made. I feel like I want to put all the pre-made Maxis Sims in this world and give them crazy storylines. I feel like though that this family is just gonna be like a normal family. Because, you know, boring average Joe Schmo. I feel like, because you need that to balance out the craziness, right? I do want to eventually, I want to have some different Sims in like some high up level careers. I feel like that would be fun, and a bunch of stuff, so that way when your Sim, did they do it in The Sims 4 where you're like, oh, you have to have your like a relationship with your boss? I feel like that's a Sims 3 thing. I don't know. If you know, let me know. But if it is, I feel like that would be cool. Because like I remember in The Sims 3, like you had to have like a good relationship with your boss and stuff like that. And it would be someone in the world, or it would be like a weird NPC. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love that raccoon, by the way. I am that one person that follows a bunch of like stuff on Instagram that's like the funny raccoon like memes and like possums. Possums are so cute. I don't know if like you'd agree with me, but something about them just like, they remind me of my recent dog, and they're just adorable. I knew someone that used to have possums, and not that I've seen any of them, but like they're just so cute, like their little eyeballs and like their little hands. They're adorable. Them and raccoons are adorable, but I stay away from raccoons because if I get bit by a raccoon, I might die, and you might too if you get bit. If you didn't know, you probably did. But raccoons, adorable. Possum. I didn't realize that possums don't carry any disease. Like they don't carry rabies. They don't carry a bunch of different stuff. So like, if you get bit by, I was about to say raccoon. If you get bit by a possum, you're not gonna like get infected or anything like that, which I find really fascinating and really cool. I don't know, it just the idea of it is like so cute and cool, and I definitely feel like they should not be kept as pets, but I feel like they shouldn't be like feared either, because I mean, yeah, okay, if you get bit it'll hurt, but you're not gonna like die of disease, right? People keep rats as pets. That I don't necessarily understand. I do feel like rats are cuter than mice, so I feel like there's that. I mean, there's a bunch of things that people keep as pets that I'm like, should you really keep that as a pet? But I'm not judging. I had turtles as a pet one time. That was not it. They smell so bad. Had some birds. Had a goldfish for like a minute. It was not good. I did hear like hamsters. Is it hamsters that eat their babies? Or is it like a gerbil or something like that? I don't know. But I hear stories of that. They can get in some weird places. Like they can like go underneath like a refrigerator or like a bunch of weird places. And I'm just like, that's too much work. Like how do they even get out? You just like let them out and be like, just walk around, because I would step on them, okay? I would step on them. And they would not have a good time. I don't think. They'd be dead because I'd step on them. But anyway, if you have any weird, not weird, but like out of the ordinary pets, what are they? I'd like to know, because I don't know, like, I mean, people keep snakes as pets, so I can't really, I wanna hear, wasn't there someone that kept one as a tiger as a pet, and then, like, they died? Like, that probably wasn't a smart idea, but, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, we are nearing the end of the video. If you did enjoy, and you made it this far, I'm really grateful to you, and I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, leave it a big thumbs up, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next Tuesday. I am working on a little bit of a bigger build. Hopefully it'll get done by then. If not, I do have a smaller build that is ready to go up as well. And I just hope you have a magical, wonderful day, and yeah. Bye, guys.